Good morning, Bitcoiners. Welcome once again to Bitcoin for Mere Mortals channel. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, crypto assets, technology, and the future. Bitcoin for Mere Mortals is a book available on Amazon. If you want for free, just drop me a comment below and I will send it to you in PDF. Yeah. We don't give financial advice. We give education and entertainment, of course. Okay, what's been going on this week with Bitcoin? Well, it's been the usual. It's been up and down, up and down. But the price is more or less right now it's in 38, but it's moving from 43 to 38 up and down. So we are still in this area here. Nothing much is happening. So this is actually a good opportunity because it gives you more time to buy satoshis to DCA into Bitcoin, rather than when it starts going up very fast, it's very difficult to accumulate Bitcoin. Okay, so in a way, it's good if you're here for the long run, of course. Okay, everything is looking red now, but it's just normal. Tomorrow will be green, and the day after probably red again, and so on. We are in sort of I don't know if it's a bear or bull market, but we're flat. For the last few months we've been flat, and that's the way it is. And there's a lot going on in the world as well. In the stock market is losing a lot of money right now. Companies like Netflix, like Amazon even, and many others are losing a lot of money. There's the war, there's the post-pandemics, there's everything else, and yeah, it's not an easy world. It's not an easy situation for anybody. So it's normal that the fear is now extreme. And remember, extreme fear means time to buy. When everybody is scared, when everybody is afraid, you go and buy because it's cheaper. But we have plenty of good news for this week. Let's start. First one is that the Central African Republic, which is a country, a huge country right in the middle of Africa, right in the heart, has adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender. This is huge. It's huge because we now have officially two countries, El Salvador and Central African Republic. And it's even in Wikipedia. So if it's in Wikipedia, means it's true, right? It is true, actually. Oh yeah, it will take years for them to implement. It's a very backward country, unfortunately. It's very poor. It will take years to actually benefit from the implementation of Bitcoin there, but it's already. I think probably they might start attracting capital now, like El Salvador. So this is really good news, and we will see probably many other countries around the area adopting Bitcoin in Africa, because let's keep in mind that the Central African Republic was using still the franc, the French franc. Believe it or not, France is not using the franc, but 14 countries in the area are using the French franc, which is a relic from the colonial times, and it's actually a made-up coin they made for the ex-colonies and all that. And this is a very disadvantage for these African countries, because it's actually the French treasury who is managing all this money. And they decide on interest rates, and they decide on how much loans are going to give, or how much debt, or how much credit, all that, and they have no say on that. They're using a currency, but they have no control over this currency. Now with Bitcoin, they don't have control over Bitcoin either, but it's very different because nobody has control over Bitcoin. So at least Bitcoin is neutral, cannot be manipulated. It's got a predictable monetary policy. It's anti-inflationary, and all that. So it's much better. So let's hope that this is good for the people of this Central African Republic. And also Panama hasn't gone quite as far, but Panama has declared Bitcoin legal and is tax-free. That's it. That's all you need, really. And this is actually, in a way, it's better than legal tender because it's a lot easier to implement. Legal tender means that every single retail shop, any single restaurant, every commerce has to accept Bitcoin because it's legal tender. But if you declare just legal and tax free, very easy to do, very easy to implement. So Panama is going to be ready. It's going to become a Bitcoin country, a true Bitcoin country, before the African Republic, because it's just less complicated to do it this way. So it's a good formula, I think. And also, Cuba is legalizing the Bitcoin services and cryptocurrencies in general. So let's remember that Cuba has many problems with their own currency, and they're using the dollars, but it's not legal to use dollars. It's a nightmare there. So at least now the people can use Bitcoin, transact in Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin with the few dollars they have, and do peer-to-peer transactions, invest, save, and protect their little wealth from inflation. So this is very good. Also, in Mexico, something is going on, because in the Senate, they have installed a Bitcoin ATM. So now all the politicians in Mexico can see this machine, can try this machine, can spend a few pesos to buy Bitcoin, and that will put them in the mood. The more you know about Bitcoin, the more you like it. So Mexico could be the next country, or the first, actually, the first big country that adopt either Bitcoin as legal or as a legal tender. Also, this is very, very important. Fidelity is going to allow retirement savers to put Bitcoin in 401k accounts. There you go. So now, 401k, for those outside the US, 401k are this account is basically your pension. It's money that you put in a pension plan, saving for retirement, and they usually invest in the stock market, in real estate, in utilities, commodities, and things like that. And but now Fidelity, which is probably the biggest pension fund ever, is going to allow to put a percentage of that into Bitcoin. The Fidelity is, I seem to remember they're dealing with something like 6 trillion, something like that. But if Fidelity does it, all the others will do it, and the pension market in the US is 35 trillion. If 20% of that goes into Bitcoin, Bitcoin will do a 6x. It will multiply its price by 6. So this is actually very, very important, and very bullish for Bitcoin. Obviously, this will take time, like everything else, but already the big players, the big guys, they're betting for Bitcoin. And also, an ETF, a spot ETF, has been approved in Australia. That's another country that is approving that kind of thing. An ETF is an indirect way to invest into Bitcoin. You can go to the bank and say, "Oh, I want to invest in Bitcoin, but I don't want to buy Bitcoin." Okay, you can buy shares in this ETF, exchange traded fund, with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes up, the ETF goes up. So it's a kind of peg. The price is peg between the two. Canada has done it already. Germany has done it, and a few other countries. But the country that hasn't done it yet is the US, and they will have to do it. They are under pressure. The government is under pressure, and they will have to do it this year. I'm very sure, and that will be huge. Also, this is I've shown you different variation of this information before, but it's very important to keep this in mind. This blue line is the illiquid supply, so means that how much Bitcoin has not moved in the last year, meaning how many people are actually holders and they are keeping Bitcoin for a long time, for probably for 5 years, probably for 10 years, probably forever. How much of the percentage is that? Well, it's the percentage of the people that never sell Bitcoin is 63.7%, and that's an all-time high. So the majority of Bitcoiners never going to sell. And if you don't sell, that Bitcoin is not in the market, the supply gets reduced, and if there's a supply crunch, the price goes up. And also, I want to show you this video. This is quite amazing. This is fiat money outside the bank. I believe it could be Venezuela, but these are actually bills. This is actually money. They're throwing money in the bin because it's worthless. They have such a hyperinflation, and they devalue the money so much that it's just easier to get rid of it, to put it in the bin. And one more thing is that the IMF director, in an interview recently, she said that we didn't think through the consequences of printing too much money. We are already out of time. So basically, she's acknowledging that they made a mistake. They print too much money creates inflation. Inflation is now very high. But this is, I don't know, at least it's very honest. But it's just acknowledging that they have no clue about the economy and no clue about some basic rules of the economy. If you have too much supply of anything, the price is going to go down. And these people are in charge of a lot they have a lot of power and a lot of money. So this is very, very worrying. So if you don't want to be suffering the consequences of this bad decision made by the IMF, you have to look for a plan B, and plan B is Bitcoin. Also, the Goldman Sachs is now offering Bitcoin-backed loans. So if you got Bitcoin, you don't want to spend your Bitcoin, one thing you can do is to go to the bank and ask for money, use Bitcoin as collateral, and you have the best of both worlds. So everything is falling in place. We have more countries, we have banks, we have pension funds, we got Fidelity, we got the IMF making mistakes again. Everything is going up, but not the price. The price is not going up yet. So good opportunity to buy while it's cheap, and then eventually it will go up. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to press all the bells down there, comment, and share in your social media. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.